All right, and I'll call the regular school board meeting for Forest Lake Area Schools, Thursday, June 25th, back to order. Member Clerk, please take the roll call of attendance.
Okay. Member Rebeline.
Here.
Member Antonsen is here. Member Tyson.
Here.
Member Christensen.
Here.
Member Corcoran.
Here.
And Member Castle.
Here.
Everybody's here.
All right, apologies for the audio issue. It sounds like we've got that corrected. We will go back to green cards, and due to the issue, I will again welcome former chair Rob Raphael.
Say it again, Rob.
Yeah. Word for word.
Yes, very articulate the first time. No pressure to repeat.
Rob Raphael, Scandia resident. I have 3 kids have gone to the school district. Board and Superintendent Massey, I just wanted to come up here tonight and just express my thank you to Superintendent Massey for your work in this district. I think as we go around this district, I drive by this school, I look at the different things, there's this outward appearance of our district that you've had a critical effect on when we look at the stadium and we look at how, like even when you were principal, how you helped develop the high school and build that out. I mean, there's a real sense of pride in this community that you've been at the heart of in this district. But I think there's that outward appearance, but there's also what I was able to see as a board member, that what an effect you had on the academics and the way we do learning in this district, which is just critical for our kids. And so if you look at like the career pathways, I was at my daughter just got married, and I was talking to one of her friends, and she's a nurse, that she came through this high school. She was able to pick a thread that she liked, and later it became a career. I see so many of Erica's friends who are like that and really got their start in the high school. And Superintendent Massey, the reason I feel so strongly about this, because I have seen how your passion, your intelligence, and your drive have worked together in this district to take those ideas about how you build a school system around student learning, and you drive it down to the principals and the teachers, and everyone's working together to make sure those kids get an education that when they leave these doors, they've really got something important. And so again, I just want to say thank you for all your work. I've seen it firsthand. I'm so proud of what you were able to get done in this district, but what we're all able to get done in this district through your leadership. So thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
All right, thank you, Mr. Raphael. All right, next is Claire L.
Said the exact same thing. Good evening, Dr. Massey and board members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm here to thank Dr. Massey for his service, and like most people here, I'm here to say congratulations on retiring from the district and extend a heartfelt thank you for his leadership for nearly a decade. When I ran for re-election for the Wyoming City Council in 2018, I was teaching at Linwood Elementary. And one morning, Dr. Massey stopped by to my classroom before students arrived to ask how my campaign was going and whether or not I had a formidable opponent. In my head, I thought, well, I have some opinions about that. But I think what I said was, thanks for asking, I think it's going okay, or something similarly Minnesotan. It meant a lot to me because it signaled an awareness of community happenings and that it was worth the time and effort to check with a staff member about something non-school related. Not all superintendents take the time and effort to get into classrooms and have conversations with students and staff. Spending time in schools constructively engaging is an example to follow, not just for administrators, but for board members as well. As a former staff member, parent, and a community member, I haven't always agreed with the decisions made at the DO level. I can think of a few commutes that really I think should have been inclement weather days. But it's always been very clear that Dr. Massey has led the district with values that every school board member here should have today, or that every school board member should embrace. Honesty, integrity, patience, and respect. And I can't imagine that was always easy. He has left a lot to be learned about a common sense approach and respect for the rules, both of which ensure that the district is healthy and the students have access to things that they need in order to achieve academically. Change is hard, and while we sometimes get change that we didn't ask for, we are a better district and in a better position to provide our students what they deserve, a first-class education with a huge array of academic opportunities. And while Dr. Massey has always given credit to the entire district staff for what our students have, It really does take someone in a leadership position to set the tone of progress and responsiveness. Thank you, Dr. Massey.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Last on the list here is Andy S.
Good evening. My name is Andy Stroike. I'm a dean of students at the high school. I live in Wyoming. I have one graduate, and will have 2 boys in the high school this year. I just came to say, again, a couple thanks to Dr. Massey. It's been a long time, and I just want to say, when I was ready for a career change many years ago, wanted to be a dean, and I know you and I met several times. It was a process, and there were times you told me information that wasn't always easy or fun for me to hear, but that's how growth occurs. It's not hearing what you're great at or the easy stuff. It's hearing what you need, what you can get better at, or how I could work harder. And I really took that to heart, and I really appreciate that you gave me a shot. And I absolutely love being a dean. Every day is different. I feel really lucky to be at the high school. It's just a great energy in that place. So thank you again for giving me that. We all need someone to give us that opportunity, so thank you. On a little bit bigger, like macro level, I was fortunate you and I we got to work on negotiations. You were on the district team, I was on the teacher team, and I think we did 4 contracts, I think. And that the phrase good faith, a good faith negotiator kind of gets thrown around. You led by good faith. And so even when we disagreed, it was never disagreeable or personal. And we got along, and I thought these last couple contracts, we made a lot of progress. And I think you wanted to truly make teachers' lives better. And I really feel we've done that. And I always felt like you've always had our backs, like you understand what it's like to be in the classroom. And so I think from that level, I just want to say thanks for your leadership. And I think it was a tremendous opportunity for me to kind of be a part of that process and see how things work. So I thank you for your leadership. And then thirdly, I am also a parent in the district. And I will have 2 kids, my last 2 in the high school. And I can only imagine, there's a lot of things I know, but there's so many things. I have no idea what you're doing because you can't tell us those things. And I just want to say, as a parent, thanks for helping keep my kids safe and all the other thousands of kids that you oversee, and fighting for resources at the state capitol and in the community, and fighting for programs. My oldest left with the tools. She's in college, and my other 2 I will leave similarly ready to go for the next part of their lives. So I can't just say thank you enough. I can only imagine how hard, it's not a fun job to me on the outside, but I know you loved it and you gave so much. I just hope you made a difference. I hope you know that, and you'll be missed, and good luck. So,
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Andy. I don't have any additional green cards, but I would like to open up the floor if anybody else would like to speak.
Come on, Jeff.
Former Chair Peterson.
I know he does want to. Jill.
School Board Superintendent Massey. It was my honor to serve on this board and underneath with all of you and during Superintendent Massey's tenure. I had the pleasure of being there during the process of hiring Dr. Massey, and it was a long, arduous process, but he was clearly the top candidate. And I now, in hindsight, know we made an absolutely excellent choice. That process was arduous and long, but it worked out very well. We accomplished a lot together on that board. We passed the levy for the first time in a long time. We passed a bond. We remodeled the district both inside and out. And your leadership through all of that process was nothing short of impressive. We, as a board and collectively with staff, went through very tough negotiations, difficult budgeting cycles, and came out on top. We survived COVID. We did so with more days in school than almost any other district in the state, and we should be proud of that. And I'm very proud that we did manage to pull off the athletic facility, which took some very opportunistic budgeting. But we got it done. And holding, so the first track meet out there in 30 years, seeing all of the families come to our community, seeing the businesses thrive and all of the joy that brought. The plan going forward, I hope that the board currently has the foresight and the guidance and that we had with Dr. Massey, and that that you guys are able to accomplish as much, because it's unbelievable what we accomplished in this district over the last decade. So thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff. Would anybody else like to speak? All right, seeing none, we will pivot to student achievement. I'd like to welcome Forest Lake Area High School Principal Caldwell.
Dr. Massey, Chair Rebeline, rest of the school board, always an honor to be here. Tonight I have the fabulous opportunity to introduce my industrial ed department. They are one leg of our career pathways. A lot of people would say this is the class that people go to when they don't want to do academics. I would say just the opposite. The reading level, the rigor, the mathematics, the planning, and all of the things that these gentlemen work with our kids every day is second to none. I'm going to hand it off to them. They're going to go through each leg of our industrial ed department. I've promised them that they each get 3 to 4 minutes. Let's hold our questions till the end, because my fear is this one could go long. But if we can let these guys get through their presentation, then we'd be happy to open it up for questions. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Mr. Kelly.
Thank you, Principal Caldwell. Good evening, school board, Dr. Massey, and guests. Right on. So I prepared a little thing here, and again, I'll try to hold it to that 2 to 4 minute time range here.
Excuse me, Jim, you want to grab that light on that one?
I'm proud to share with you a glimpse into the dynamic hands-on learning taking place in our industrial technology courses. Personally, I teach the engineering and architecture courses, so that's what I'm going to share with you tonight. Where do I aim this thing? Okay, so we'll start with 9th grade engineering and our intro to CAD classes, which are grades 9 through 12. Our journey begins with the 9th grade engineering and intro to CAD classes. Here the students take their first steps into digital design, moving from basic software commands to tangible creative outputs. In AutoCAD, they mastered precision 2D drawing to create laser engraved projects. And then they step into SolidWorks, where they learn the fundamentals of 3D modeling, transitioning from simple parts to building assemblies and 3D printing. As they progress through toy trains, Lego vehicles, and Lego figures, Lego people, they create little Lego people, they foster independence, creativity, and early time management. So what you're seeing here are just some of the Lego vehicles that they create. I give them the sizes, and then they pick Lego vehicles. And then this is our intro to CAD slide here, and I'll just move to this picture here. So there's the Lego figure on the left side, and then we have the trains on the right-hand side. So once they progress through the 9th grade classes into the intro to CAD classes, these are just some of the capstone projects that they produce. The next level class, our second level class, Engineering 1. Some more pictures here. And then Engineering 1, where the technical rigor is accelerated for students grades 10 through 12. This is a concurrent enrollment course through Pine Tech Community College, allowing our students to earn 3 elective credits. At this level, students use college-level SolidWorks curriculum to tackle sophisticated engineering logic, learning how to precisely dimension parts, accounting for tolerances, and create industry standard drawings, which would be the one on the lower right-hand side there. At the completion of the college level curriculum, students work on student choice projects. Some projects require modeling numerous individual parts, demanding initiative, mechanical problem solving skills, and time management. So you can see just two of the projects that some of the students have done in the past there. Our last class that I offer, the Engineering 2, which is grades 10 through 12. Here's where the paradigm shifts from individual excellence to complex group dynamics. In this course, students leverage their SolidWorks and AutoCAD skills to work collectively on a single capstone project. On the screen, you can see an example of this. This is a marble maze, marble run project that we created this year. The structural framework was designed in SolidWorks, so that is what they created in SolidWorks. They revised it in AutoCAD to be cut on the laser engraver. So SolidWorks is 3D, the laser engraver is 2-dimensional. And then they switched their thinking back to 3-dimensional spatial design to assemble it. The project required high-level proof of concept thinking, collaborative troubleshooting, and teamwork that directly mirrors real-world application. By bringing classroom theory with industry-level software and collaborative industry practices, we are truly empowering our students to become the innovators of tomorrow. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
And am I Joe? Okay. I guess I'm Joe Letko tonight too. So, Joe Letko teaches our carpentry classes. 9th grade carpentry, and then a carpentry 1 and a carpentry 2 class. 9th grade carpentry, the students build this model cabin that you see right here, and they use the Gantt chart timeline. What that is it explains what has to be done, when it has to be done, and the timeline. So that's the horizontal chart that you're seeing there. And you can see on the left-hand side everything that they discuss as they build this model cabin. At the completion of the model cabin, some of the students 3D print components, for example, deciding the windows and then the roofing materials. So they go through all of that with that little 3D model design. There's just some pictures of the cabin there. Carpentry 1. Some students coming into Carpentry 1 have not taken the 9th grade class, so they're brand new to the carpentry shop. So what Mr. Letko does with some of them, and some of them have maybe never had a carpentry class or a class with power tools. So what he does with them is his emphasis on safety, and then they do measurement and accuracy, and they create that camping chair, and then they're allowed to laser engrave an image on the chair. Once they have finished that project, they move into their larger project. It's a group project. Usually there's 6 to 8 kids or so on one of those. It's either a deer blind, a shed, or an ice house. And I got some numbers from Mr. Letko. We auctioned off 2 saunas this year, 6 ice houses, and 2 hunting blinds. So we haven't seen the saunas yet, but those are coming up here in a second. Carpentry 2, that is our capstone class for the students who have decided to continue their career through Carpentry 1. Projects that have been built in the past, you can see saunas, the coffee kiosk, which will be delivered to Scandia shortly. A ticket booth in the past that's at the Almalund Threshing Show. We've made a ticket booth, and in previous years we've done a house. The last sentence, they're hoping to bring back the house project as it provides a great experience, and that is, I believe that's in the works in the district here. So there's just a picture of the sauna and then the coffee kiosk that is going to Scandia.
Hello, I'm Mike Bodette. I'm from Wyoming, have 3 kids that went through the district. Couldn't be happier. One of them, my oldest, is a microbiologist. My son does HVAC, and my daughter's doing pretty well at Century right now. She doesn't know where she wants to go, so she did receive, or they all did receive a good education, and were able to figure out what they wanted to do. So I'd like to say thank you for that, first of all. I do electronics and wood shop. We're just trying to get the electronics back up and going again. So this was the first year after some years off. I wasn't quite sure how to approach it, so I approached it, what don't I know about electronics? And the first thing was reading a schematic. So we worked a lot on schematics. We go into Tinkercad, and so there's a schematic on the left, and they would build that on a computer in Tinkercad, and we would just progressively add more components. And then they would apply that. The operation game is just a series wiring, and if you remember the operation game, the negative is hooked up to the tweezers, and when that touches the metal wire, it goes off. And then the last project, they had to come up with an interactive toy for 3 to 5-year-olds, and they had to wire that in parallel so that everything would work independently, so it wasn't in series. And that took quite a while, so there's a red button, a red light, yellow, green, blue, on-off switch. There's a potentiometer that spins a piece on there, and then there's a pen that you touch and it lights up. So we just had a meeting with a supplier because we do have electronics 2 next year also, and so we're hoping that that will provide a lot of good curriculum for the students. The woods portion, we start off with 9th grade. We do two projects. The first one is just a nameplate. It's literally just to get a measuring table saw and miter saw. And then they wood burn their name. And the kids go crazy for the wood burners. You can have the wildest kid, and when they get that in their hand, they just calm right down. And then they progress to a side table. It's choice, so they get to decide what they want to wood burn, as long as it's school appropriate. I did have a student bring a note in, and I said, no, you still can't do that. Pretty straightforward, but we use pocket hole jigs, which are fairly common in joinery now for furniture. We do glue ups, get most of the tools in the shop, not all of them, but most of them. In cabinet 1, we have the nightstand. It's a little small for beds nowadays, but it does cover everything that they need to know to take cabinet 2 when they get to design their own project. Dados, rabbets, you've got rails and stiles for the doors, we use panel doors, hinges, toe kick. So all of that is in cabinets. I just got done building cabinets for my daughter, 2 dressers, and that's what I use. Cabinet 2 choice project. So these are some more advanced kids. The one on the right was just a bookcase, and the one on the left was a dog kennel. That was probably the best student I've ever had. She's entering the Carpenters Union. So really, really proud of her. She put in a lot of time and very, very creative. One thing I would like to say is, at least in my shop and Carl's shop, mistakes get made, and that's okay. Part of the critical thinking is, how do we fix it without throwing this whole thing out? And it's hard. It's really hard for these kids to try and come up with solutions when they do make a mistake. And it's really valuable, because if anybody's ever built anything, I make mistakes all the time. Just how do you hide it? And so that's, I think, a really important skill that they learn. And I think you're up.
All right. Thanks for letting us be here for this. We really appreciate it. All the projects that our students do, we're just happy to showcase it. So I'm Mr. Mitchell. I teach welding and fabricating at high school. I'm only my 4th year teaching. I come from a non-traditional background. I come from a welding background. So I did that for 16 years in the industry. So altogether, I have like 21 years of welding skills. So it's kind of fun just to get in here and get the kids going, get them welding, and just dive into these projects. So it's fun having that background, so I can help problem solve, like we're talking about, like imperfections in projects. I know how to fix some of those. I let them stumble a little bit, let them look at the problems, and see if they can solve it first. Because like I tell them, I don't give my 3-year-old the answer, so I'm not gonna give them the answer right away either. So it's fun seeing them struggle. They just want to come up and say, how do I fix this? And you just tell them, figure it out. Think about it. So I think that critical thinking is super important. So metals 1, 2, and 3, we combine a lot of this stuff. I mean, it flows. Some students will do a metals 1, they don't get it done. We actually continue the project into metals 2 and into 3. The picture on the left-hand side there, that's a smoker box that we're making for a 250-gallon meat smoker. Didn't finish it at this year, but we'll get it done. And then the other one on the right is a couple of students that are in my metals 3 that wanted to make a fire pit for the metals 3 project. And things that they don't realize is it looks good on paper until you start welding and you realize there's, I should have done the numbers, but there's a couple hundred feet of weld in there, internal and external. So sometimes it's a crash course for them to figure that out, but they want to do it and I back them, and then, I mean, they get through, they push through, so it's pretty fun. The project on the left is a new one that we're doing this year. This student went above and beyond with the project. We actually did some cross-curricular work, so he did some of the 3D printing and the design in Nichols class, but what you're looking at is a metal hammer. So it starts out as like 1-inch round stock. You put it on the lathe. There's a set of blueprints they have to follow, which we try to get things within the thickness of human hair when it comes to tolerances on it. So we machine it, we knurl the handle, we thread and tap it, and he decided he wanted to do a brass hammerhead as well, and then a meat tenderizer, which isn't pictured in there. But I mean, that's one of the projects that we have here. I mean, they dive into it. They really get into it. They don't realize that they like math and measurement until they start with something like this. So these projects, I think, are super important to have that conversation of they might hate math, but then you let them know like how much you do in the classroom, and they're like, I suppose. That type of comment from them. On the right is just a student welding. We go over the fundamentals, the basics of how to start a welder, ferrous metal, non-ferrous metal, the types of positions to weld into, the right choice of wire, thickness, and they learn that metal's hot, it throws sparks, and it can burn them. It's a life skill. I think that they're scared at first, doesn't matter who the student is, but then they warm up to it pretty quick, and I gotta stop them sometimes, because they keep burning through material. It's like, okay, the next person needs to get in the ball in the booth. They got their turn. Student on the left is inside of that meat smoker doing some internal welds. So we go over all the safety stuff, right? They have on their jacket, safety gloves, and the proper stuff to wear. Well, I'm always over there with them, but they don't care if they get dirty. I think they wear it as pride. So they leave class, and I'm like, I hope your parents aren't pissed that your clothes are this dirty. But they're like, I don't care. So there are students that love to work in the heat, sweat it out, they have a blast. And then the one on the right, the picture, is a fire pit that we did. I try to always encompass the Forest Lake logo and stuff, because I do take pride in the stuff that we do here. So it's always good when we can put that out in the community and get everybody else talking about some of the fun things that we do in the classroom. I appreciate it.
Wow.
All right, before we pivot to questions, do you want to talk about any of the items that you brought along first?
Yeah, since I'm up here, I'll briefly talk about some of that. Yeah, so this is a new one that we're doing this year in the trades camp. We're also gonna do this next year for Metals 1. So it is a beanbag scorekeeper.
Wow.
I've got to bring the pegs in with me, but
That's cool.
they go over how to cut round stock metal, how to bend stuff on the iron worker, hold specific dimensions, how heat transfer works with welding, how to run a grinder. There's a significant amount of actually tools that we use in the classroom to build this. So it covers our basics, so that way the students get a quick understanding of how everything works before we start diving into heavier projects in the classroom. This is a bird feeder that belongs definitely on a pole. It is significantly heavier than I was expecting when we started getting going on this project, but yeah, it's aggressive. Not gonna lie.
It looks really thick and heavy.
But, I mean, this is a student that comes to school for the class, right? So he's always in the room, want to always be in the room to work on it. You gotta boot him out. Lunch, they wanna come in, it's like, no. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I let him in, but, just wanted to stay after and keep things going with that, the brew house. Another student, that's just like, in Metal Speed, they can get creative. And if there's downtime, I always let them know if they can clean, they can clean. No student wants to clean, so they're gonna work on projects. So, that's just our regular TIG welding rod. They use a drill to like spiral it up like that. And then he just went off of what felt right to him to make that. So I just let him go. I had nothing to do with any of that design. That was strictly the student.
Wow.
We do have a plasma table at the school, which most of you probably have seen it before as well. But I mean, we do like little projects, you know, just like an American flag. We have a lot of students that love to do these little things in there as well. I mean, it's not much student work, but it's a tangible item, which is super important to a lot of these students to like take things and touch them. So, real cool thing. And then, lastly, this is just a drink coaster. So this was designed a couple of years ago, cross-curricular work, like the Nichols class. So a lot of design happens in there. And then they bring it into my classroom, and then we get the CNC machine, and then that's when they realize some things don't work the way on a drawing as it does in the actual machine. So they have to go back and forth and do a lot of problem solving. So it's really fun when they figure it out and then they want to go show another teacher. Like, can I go show this? Or can I go show Letco or Nichols? So it's like, of course. So they really take pride in showing off a lot of the stuff that they do in our classrooms. Yeah, so that's the any questions? Anything?
Did you want to
Yeah,
talk about
what
the
about the
marbles a little bit more?
wood?
Because
Yeah, this
that
was
the
the
marble?
Marble Maze Marble Run project. When we decided to do this project, I sat down with the students. There was 24 students. This is actually made up of Engineering 2 students and Engineering Design students. So there's actually 2 classes in that group, and it was about half and half. When we started this project, Marble Maze Marble Run, we decided that the main media was going to be this 1/8" hardboard. So that's what they had to make it out of. But they could 3D print one major item. So in this case, it's the yellow slide, or on this one, it's the little loop-de-loop for the marble to go down. It had to do 5 things. The marble had to change directions 5 times, and it had to have a raise in elevation. Again, we sat down as a class when we started this project and said, hey, how are we going to do this? So you can see on this jump right here, that's their raise in elevation. On this one, their raise in elevation here is the little loop-de-loop, the little spiral loop-de-loop down here. So when the students worked on this, they could use the wood media, they could 3D print one major piece, they could use construction paper. Some students used magnets. Some students used a little electric motor that actually made things spin. Other students used like a syringe, and they moved the marble with a syringe because you were not allowed to touch the marble. Once it got started, you couldn't touch the marble. You couldn't pick the marble up and put it back at the beginning. The marble had to get to the top somehow, do its 5 things, have a raise in elevation, and then it had to get back to the start again. They couldn't actually physically pick it up. So in looking at this, they went from 3D design on SolidWorks, which was pretty easy for them. They started designing it on SolidWorks, and that's the image you saw. But then they realized, I have to use flat pieces of wood. So how do I get curves and things like that into a flat piece of wood? And that was the hard part, because then we had to take it to the laser engraver and cut it out. So they had to go 3D to 2D and then back to 3D again to assemble it. And some of the students, you can see, they actually, part of their assembly process, they included, you can see the assembly here for the steps going down. They actually made little cutouts, little mortise and tenon joints to actually put it together. Some students glued it, but some students actually made the little joints and everything just sticks together. This one is designed after Mario Brothers right here, so that's kind of the way they went with that.
Very cool. Very cool.
that's great. Thank you for that. Does anybody have any questions, comments?
Wow. I do.
Member Tyson?
I really wanted one of those saunas, but my husband said no, but they were spectacular. I was sharing them on Facebook and people were commenting, who makes these? Where is this made? So just kudos to all the things we do. I think it's just fascinating how our industrial tech is just growing. And I did meet a welder recently, I think he was a 10th grader, and he was telling me, it's really not that hot, Gail. I'm like, okay, it just looks like it is. So, like you said, they wear the proper attire and they know all the safety precautions. Do you feel like, how many are in your class for welding?
We like to cap the class at 25 each section just because of safety measures.
Okay.
But I don't remember the exact number. There's a lot of students that try getting in and they let me know like how's it going to be going for next year. So it's always a super busy class.
And it's grown, it's growing, yeah.
Yeah, over the years it's gone up. I wish I had the numbers, but I know, yes, it's not too my own horn, but I know since I've been there, the numbers have gotten better. I bring a different drive and passion with it because it's all I've done my whole life. So it's not a job to me, it's something I love to do because I still own a business in Weld outside of school. So it's fun.
Yeah, and I love how you talked about the tangible items and how proud they are to have that and to go show them off and bring them home and talk about what they've done. I mean, that just gives them so much pride and growth in what they're learning and doing.
Yeah.
So thank you for all you do. I know the curriculum committee, when I've been on that, we go for a visit over there, and it's always just fascinating to me, all the things and areas that are covered and in that department. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. And then do we have how many laser printers do we have now?
Laser engravers or
Well,
3D printers?
3D printers, I mean.
There's 12 in my room, and there are 2 in the carpenter room with Mr. Letko, so he can 3D print stuff like that.
And are those enough?
Never.
Never enough? Never enough.
If one goes down, which they do, all things break in all of our classes, and don't have time to fix it until after school or before school the next day. So it's always nice to have the extras.
Yeah.
But
Well, let us know if we can
Well
help.
said, there's always a need for more. I think it's a space issue in some classrooms.
I suppose
but
it is.
We'd always love to have some more.
Okay. And I know the Polaris Foundation gave us the big,
The CNC.
yes,
CNC mill, and
CNC mill.
my laser engraver in my room was part of that as well.
That's so generous. Well, thank you for all you do. It's just amazing to me.
Member Christensen.
Well, I just wanted to say, we have 3 of those little tables with the wood burn thing at my house and 1 nightstand. But maybe Mr. Caldwell or Dr. Massey could talk a little bit about how unique this is as far as other high schools, and this is part of the career different classes that we offer. So if you could talk.
It definitely fits into our career pathway work, which I would say we're leading the metro in that. In that work, we've gone from teaching kids skills that they can use in their garage with a conversation about what you can do in industry, to really having the industry skills drive what they're doing. Other schools are always asking, how did you do this? How did you do this? But we did it because we never left. That was the biggest thing, is this district and the school board has always supported our industrial tech program. Dr. Massey did when he was there, and that continued. And the other thing is that pendulum, that we aren't just college anymore, we're college and career.
Yes.
We're employed, we're enlisted, we're in school, and those are the things that we do. Kids have choices, and other schools try to emulate what we do. They don't have the space we have. And part of that is a huge thanks to this community that we were able to touch all of those spaces and get them up to speed. And the grants and things that Mike and Molly have and help push that forward, not just in industrial tech, but our other CTE areas.
Thank you. Yeah.
Member Corcoran.
I know a lot of the slides you said 10th through 12th. Did the 9th grade get to be involved in your classes as well?
Yeah, so
Okay. Okay.
I know you have a 9th grade, is it
Okay.
engineering?
9th grade engineering.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's
so
a
the-
9th grade carpentry.
Okay.
And then we split 9th grade woods and metals, so half the semester they do woods, and then we switch at the quarter.
Okay.
Which we really like because we get 2 for 1. They
Right.
get to taste both of them before.
And then they can kind of choose as they go on to
Yeah.
the advanced courses.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
so it would be really interesting to know how many students, like, start their career here and, like, actually go to college, like, finish and go to, and further that. Do you, I mean, do you have any numbers that track
I don't have it
that?
off the top of my head.
Well, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to know, because it gives them, so it's great that we give kids an opportunity to try things they probably never would have even thought that they would enjoy. I mean, at our school district, we have every opportunity, that we give them things that, like, oh, maybe that sounds interesting. A friend talks them into it and gives it a try, and it might be something that they fall in love with, and it's their career. And having that college, I mean, have a Pine Tech coordination too, that gives them such, I mean, that's also a great opportunity to have, I mean, a lot of them have, I mean, you said 3 credits, right? So can they have, how many, like the average student in your classes, do they have, like, how many do they take? I mean, do you guys have all that data? I'd be curious to know.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's normally in the
Yeah.
presentation that I do this time of the year.
Okay, just curious.
But we decided to go a different route this year.
Okay, sorry, I have a lot of, like, this is just very intriguing to
I have all
me.
of that data, and I'm happy to share with you
Okay.
as soon as we've done putting it in this year's spreadsheet.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I work at architectural firms, so I'm like, this is really great for me to see how this all works and get to know some of the young people we have in our office now and how their brains kind of work. So it's been really interesting to, they're so creative and they have such passion for the business. So, but thank you. This is a great presentation.
All right. Member Anderson.
Going to go ahead and ask Mr. Caldwell to please send us, at least to me as well, maybe the entire board would like to see that, those numbers that
Yeah.
Member Corcoran's asking about. I'd love to see that too.
Absolutely.
I know for, in our family, this opportunity within our schools has made, it's just kind of what helps get them there sometimes, like you have said too. So, and I absolutely love how much real world stuff you guys are doing. It brings in math and art, also art into your creations that you're doing, and I just think it's, Mr. Raphael was up here talking about it earlier, like, not all the kids across the metro get this opportunity, and I remember being at that MSBA conference when you were presenting, and the people in that room, just after your presentation, and they were just right up there asking, how can we do this, how do you do it, how did you make it happen, and I think it's just amazing. And so, thank you for coming here tonight and showing us.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's nice to see your faces, because my son has been in every single one of your rooms, so now I know who you are.
Member Castle.
I've been in manufacturing all my life, and I'm interested in how the cutouts were done on this.
Yeah.
Was it a plasma table?
Yep.
Okay.
I think in 2018, the school got a grant for the plasma table, which the manufacturer is actually in Scandia, Star Labs, so it's nice to have a local made here, made in so making this a
Yep.
manufacturer.
I worked for him for a little bit.
Yep.
So, and I would be interested if I could talk him into donating the table. He makes tables in all different sizes.
Yeah. Yep.
And they're the top of the line.
Yep, and that, when we got, it's always busy. I mean, again, like, we talked about equipment, we talked about equipment, and, yeah, that's one of the things, we have, not saying we need a lot of plasma tables, or, you know what I mean, but once that goes down, I'm usually the one trying to figure it out, you know what I mean, just because it's hard sometimes to get support, from like techs or whatever, so there's a lot of like figuring out on things we gotta do, if a welder goes down, we go from 5 to 4, and then, it's just like lathes or CNC machines, there's numbers, because those things are super expensive, you know what I mean, but we have kids always turning material in the lathe, and it keeps them busy, so, the more the merrier.
So the 2 problems you had with the amount of welding rod you needed, or that was taken by a project, and the weight of this birdhouse.
Yeah.
This would be another opportunity for the math to take the specific gravity of the metal, and then the thickness and then the area of each piece, and add that all up, and they would be able to get a pretty good ballpark estimate of, And then the welding rod, depending on your skill,
Yep.
because the best welders won't use a lot, because
Right.
it'll be nice and smooth and
Yeah, we have some that use quite a bit.
and then the ones,
Yeah.
the learners, I took hot metals and everything when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And so I did some welding and, you know, you bend it over until something breaks and it shouldn't be the weld and all these things.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't that great. I had a big old bead, so it probably used twice as much welding rod as the next guy, but that would be another estimate math opportunity for the student to take that
Yeah.
guess
Right.
before they put it together.
Yeah. When you have a student that says he's working on his dad's truck welding, you know, it's another piece that brings it into the home where, you know, you got family bond.
Room that we're getting set up for that. And then there's, for the two, we just looked at a program. It's more computer-based, but there's projects in there. We just haven't got our hands on it yet. We just had a meeting yesterday about it, so I'm hoping to get a look at it next week. That'll be more of the same. And that one, there's different ways we can go. We can keep it, you know, straight down to the course outline, or we can venture off with your approval into more of a manufacturing, fixing parts in manufacturing. Like one of the avenues is HVAC. So there would be, you would get your base knowledge and then you would branch off into, okay, this is everything that you would have to know for HVAC. And I know that's one of them. Like I said, we didn't get to see all of it, so there's other avenues that you can go.
So are you looking at interfacing the computer with circuits so you could write a program and like turn something on or off, or?
I'm not sure how this is gonna work yet. I know it works on Chromebooks. I think that there are little labs that are set up for a lot of it. But you got your base knowledge that you're gonna learn. And then I think it's little labs on different components and how they work. And then you can build a circuit on the computer or on a breadboard. I know from doing it this year, the kids want breadboards. They want to see the actual light up and the buzzer buzz.
Yep.
Rather than on a computer screen,
Yep.
which I'm all for too.
Yeah, I took a master course from NRI that it's defunct, but it's a home study course.
Okay.
And at the time, you got a Tandy Model 3 and built circuits and had a 7-segment LED, and you write the program and all the stuff. So it might come into computer area also. So I don't know if that would be a joint project with that type of class, or whether you could do that just in your class by itself. But there are ways to, and I'm thinking about the entrepreneurial aspect of the students, where they invent things and they solve problems that, they come up with an idea and, I could use this. How do I make my...
So on that choice project that I had, where it was their final project, where they had to have 8 basic interactions, which was like a button and a light, and they had to come up with 2 different things on their own. And the things that they came up with, potentiometer, we didn't go over that. They had to research that on their own. A lot of them went the Arduino route, and they were programming Arduinos, which I've never done. And they were making things happen that were really cool. Quite honestly, some of that is beyond me with the Arduinos.
Yep.
But boy, the kids just dive into it and they just took off on it.
Yeah, I got a couple Raspberry Pis, so it's... And
Those are a step up, right?
They have a whole input, output,
Yeah.
and everything, so it's all right there, But
So,
that's...
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Well, I'd like to thank you guys for coming in. Like Member Christensen here, I have many of these projects floating around my own house, my own garage, and my kids have benefited greatly from taking your classes. And like one of the things I like to highlight is my son does 3D animation now. That's what he's going to college for. He got kind of an introduction to 3D modeling and 3D printing in some of these classes, as well as some of the work that he did at home. So it's interesting to see how this carries over into other aspects of life. You don't think that you're going to be doing animation for Toy Story because you took an industrial tech class, but that's the reality of it. It's the same concepts, the same ideas. One of the other things I was going to mention too is we talk about how a lot where this is a career and technical, but I look at it just as much as life skills. These are things that as you grow up and you enter life, you're doing these things in your garage, you're doing them in your driveway. My day job has nothing to do with welding, but I can lie on my back in my driveway and weld an exhaust together because something broke on my daughter's truck. And that's an important skill to have as well. So it's great that we have these opportunities here for students. And to kind of dovetail off of that, I'm not going to put you on the spot here tonight, but please brainstorm this question I have for you. Other than unlimited funding, because that's the easy answer here, is how can the board better support these programs? How can we help you guys grow this department? And what type of support can we offer to you so that you can help keep servicing our students in the way that you've done it before, or that you've been able to so far? So definitely nothing for this evening, but please reach out to us and let us know, and we can keep that in mind as we build out things like our strategic plan that's coming up over the next few weeks.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
All right, thank you very much for coming in.
Want these left here, or should we take them out? I have
Sure.
to come pick them up tomorrow.
Yeah, just leave them. I
Okay.
think you could just
For
leave
Joy,
them
then, if you're okay
Yeah.
with that.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be
I wanna
great.
look at them the rest of the
Oh, I
meeting.
have one more question. I'm sorry. Don't run away. I don't have any clue what an Arduino is, or whatever you just said. I mean, I feel like,
It's kind of a small computer.
oh,
Yep.
they make a small computer?
Yes, so a Raspberry Pi is about like this and about this thick.
Okay.
And they, depending on what they are, mine runs on Linux, but there is a Windows,
They were doing it with Windows.
there was doing it
Oh,
with
so
Windows
they make
too, but-
their own little
They're coding
computer?
it.
Yep, yep.
Oh my
Lights
God.
flashing in
Yep.
a certain order to the beat of a song. And it was
Wow.
Yeah, there's a whole package for these small computers.
Okay.
And they're,
of course, being younger, they really know it.
Well, I was just saying in the listening session, I said my, the current 10th grader already knows more about technology and all this stuff than I'm ever going to know in this lifetime, so, yeah. Thank you, again, yeah.
You bet.
All right, thank you guys.
for coming.
All right, do we have anything for positive happenings this week?
Have we, well, I was going to
Member
ask if we've
Christensen?
even talked about the graduation and award ceremony, and I can't remember, I don't think we have brought
This is
them
our
up.
first board meeting.
Yeah.
Since,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, with the, so.
Yeah, lots going on.
Anyways, you had.
Yeah,
raised your
Member
hand.
Christensen.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, there's too many things to list, but I am just always very thankful that we got through prom and graduation with no incidents and everyone is home safe, and always very grateful for that and always on minds of parents this time of year. And again, the graduation ceremony, we just made it before the rain, so that was really fantastic. And so many things, I'm not even going to list them because I'm going to forget everything. But since Lisa Peterson is here, I want to recognize her. She was in charge of the parent all-night party for years. Years. And I believe she's stepping aside and passing the baton, but that is a really important event, and it's all run by volunteers, and people in the community donate, and parents volunteer to work that and provide a safe environment where kids can have fun. They have like a hypnotist and blackjack and all this kind of really fun stuff to attract the kids, and great prizes so that the kids will want to stay and be safe on the night of commencement. So thank you, Lisa. And Jeff has helped as well. But
Well, thank you. It's a
great
Yes, I didn't know that.
dealer.
So. Good job.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have anything else for positive happenings? Member
Oh,
Tyson?
go ahead, Julie.
Oh, I'm just to
Member
say graduation was phenomenal, a beautiful night, and it's great that we beat the rain. And we went out after for a little bit and got to see a lot of the staff out, and everybody's in such great spirits that night. It's such a great night of celebration. And yeah, Lisa's, that all-night party has been a great event for many years. And I usually volunteer, and I'm sorry I didn't this year, but I know she was really short-staffed this year. So people hopefully will step up and step up for next year, because it's a great night for our students. And I can't imagine not having it.
Yeah.
So people need to step up. So, but thank you. And I don't know if there's any.
There's so many
things, awards night, Hall of Fame, everything was just, it's been such a busy couple of months, but yeah, beautiful night for graduation. We were so lucky. We didn't have to go into the gym, even though we do have air conditioning now. So thank you, Chrissy Remberg Ivy. We have finally air conditioning, even though we didn't have to take advantage of it. So thank you.
Member Tyson.
Yeah, I just want to add a couple of things about the commencement ceremony. Mr. Caldwell's speech was just so incredible and touching, and I am always so impressed how he gets to know that grade level, and so does the superintendent, and they speak to what that grade level has been through, what they're about, what their style was for learning, and I just love that. And Dr. Massey, you being the speaker, your whole video, the music, all the words you shared were just incredible, and I had parents afterward tell me that it meant so much to them that you were the class speaker. And we always get some good selfies after, but we had to watch for the rain. I also wanted to mention that the student speakers were outstanding, and they always are. I just love to hear their words and their take and their views on how their class grew up all those years. And I want to say that coming across the stage, it was a super, just fun-loving, respectful, they always are, but just, they had a great vibe when they came across the stage. Wouldn't you agree? That it's just humbling for me to see them in that moment and hand them their diploma, but this grade level just had a really, really fun vibe, so.
I think it was the loudest. I mean, it's always
they
loud.
cheered for
but that was,
everybody.
I think, the loudest
Yeah.
graduating class.
Yeah.
As far as cheering for almost every person, that was really memorable for me. I mean, usually some cheering, but I think almost every single person, there was huge cheering for everyone, which was great.
Anyway, and thanks to the Petersons. I think it's been great having it out at Stars and Stripes. I don't know how many years it's been there now, but back in the day, we used to decorate the old Southwest Junior High with lots of crepe paper. But anyway, thank you for all you do. That's a huge undertaking, so thank you for that.
Well, to add to the graduation notes too, it was exciting to have a former board member there to give their diploma to their child. That was, it was nice to see that policy get implemented and enacted. And that's always, it's such a neat experience to give a diploma to your own kid. That was fun. We have anything else for positive happenings?
Oh, yeah, I have a couple things to
Member
add.
Anderson?
I mean, I didn't know before becoming a board member how cool it actually would be to be there to hand out diplomas to students. So I really just have come to greatly appreciate that, that activity that we get to participate in. I really got a kick out of the kiddo who stepped down and dug in under his gown and threw up a big giant wad of money. I was wondering if that meant he had a bet somewhere along the way. Somebody told him he'd never graduate and he did it, but whatever it was fun to see all the energy like you were talking about. And I got to go with Dr. Massey and attended the community schools graduation. It was very hot. We were luckily sitting in the shade, but that was lovely, and it was really neat to see the just small, tight-knit community of students and the teachers all there. They're very close, and I really appreciated getting to see that up close and personal. And the same theme followed when we went over to then the STEP program. I learned that there was only one graduate because they now are doing it at different times throughout the year, but it was, again, just a very tight-knit, close, caring community within that building, and the families and the kids, the students. And I was just really glad I got to attend that with you.
Thank you.
along with the award ceremony this year and graduation in general, so, yeah. I think that's it for me. Yeah.
Thank you. Do we have anything else for positive happenings? All right, that will move us to reports. Does anybody have anything for workshops and conferences? It's not exactly that time of year. City of Forest Lake, Member Christensen or Member Tyson?
No comments at this time.
I just want to add that the city started their own farmers market, which is new this year, and it's every Saturday from 8 to 12 at City Hall. So people can attend there. I heard there's about 15 vendors, so.
Is it outside or inside?
And it's outside.
Outside,
Yeah,
okay.
outside. Arts in the Park, it was community band night. I couldn't go, but I heard that people really enjoyed that. We also know upcoming is the 4th of July parade, so we want to thank the committee for planning that awesome parade in our city, and to FLPD, Forest Lake Police Department. It's a big job and undertaking keeping everybody safe and keeping the event running smoothly. So I just want to give them a shout out. And that concludes my report on City of Forest Lake.
All right, thank you. The next thing on the agenda is MSBA, and I'll first ask Member Tyson, do you have anything from MSBA at
I
large?
do have an update, and I first want to mention the Kids Rise. That is coming along quite well. The state plans to be at the State Fair and have the booth. That's coming along and being planned. They're actually talking to our principal, Neil Fox, seeing if he can come out and do some small participation in talking about public schools and bring along his son as well. But I want to just repeat that the Permanent School Fund is going to be on the ballot for November 3rd, 2026. I've talked about that before. It means money for schools, no taxes involved. So there's a committee now formed, the Coalition on the Permanent School Fund. They met on June 11th. So they're going to establish some type of leadership. They're going to establish the messaging. I know Member Christensen has asked about the messaging. So all those communications will be coming out as they meet, and tools for us to start spreading the word. And I have talked about how it's got to be amended as well to raise that amount for revenue that'll come out, because it's been at like 2 something, and Superintendent Massey can correct me because I don't have that number in front of me, but it'll be raised, so it has to be amended as well. So just
Yeah, they're
getting
going to draw on dividends and other interests to expand the dollars that
Right.
go out, so.
because this money has sat there and grown and grown and grown. So now they're trying to amend it and pare it down and start giving this money out to schools in bigger amounts. So that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Member Tyson. And then I'll pivot to Member Corcoran for an update on the MSBA strategic plan work.
Yes, I actually sent an email to Gail Gilman. I'm not sure if everyone's completed their questionnaire. I think I gave it till yesterday.
Yeah.
I haven't double checked. So it didn't take too long, just a few minutes. It was, it was a good insight to how you feel about things, and I liked it was easy to fill out. So I will follow up with her, and I actually talked to Director Jacobson today. I did send him, when Tessa asked me about that, I did send him the actual questionnaire, and I did speak to him about filling that out early in the next couple weeks. So then she said 6 weeks, so I was kind of thinking we would look at middle of August.
Okay.
To get together, to go over their results and kind of have a plan. Then, of course, the strategic plan should follow after that,
Yep.
after we kind of come together and work through some of those questions. Just wondering if it'd be better to have a weeknight, because weekends in the summer are very valuable, and we don't want to give them up. I feel like, people are traveling, they're at their cabins, things like that. So maybe a weeknight would work best for people. So maybe I can do an email, send it out, kind of figure out what would work for people, so we can let Gail know.
Could we coordinate it with a board meeting?
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe
yeah.
do it
Yeah,
at
do you want
the
to do it Thursday
conclusion
night
of or right
on a
before?
second?
I think
on a
we did
second
that
Thursday?
initially.
Okay, so I'll do that.
Let's look at the schedule and see what's available and try to
Yeah,
coordinate
she's
with the
willing to
board
work with
meeting.
us, but she does go out like 6 weeks. She's really
Yeah.
busy,
Okay.
so. by middle of August probably then would probably work?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as she's
Okay.
available, yeah, we can try to get it on our
Okay.
agenda.
Okay, sounds good.
And then we can either do it as part of a board meeting or right before or right after.
Yeah,
and-
'cause I think she said like an hour and a half to 2 hours is what
Okay.
she was kind of originally saying. To not do a plan, and of course by then Director Jacobson, Superintendent Jacobson, soon to be, will have it completed and also it'll be part of ours.
Yeah.
So, okay,
All right,
great.
thank
I
you
will
so
let her
much
know.
for that update.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions for Member Corcoran on that? All right.
If somebody did not fill that out, can they still do it?
Oh,
I
sure.
thought it's,
Yeah.
okay, fine.
Yeah, I
If they
just
still
kind of
got the link,
gave, I just
right.
kind of wanted to get it to have a date, so we will. If you're still not done, even the next few days would be great. And I don't think it takes a lot for her to compile that information, so.
Yeah, okay.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Brings us to the consent agenda. Does anybody have any items in the consent agenda they'd like to pull? All right, if not, I would entertain a motion to approve items 7.1 through 7.4.
So moved. Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, that motion carries. And with that action, this evening, we have authorized the transfer of Katie Lorenz to our new Director of Teaching and Learning. So for what is likely the final time, I'll welcome Director Jacobson to the podium. He'll have a different title the next time he
Well,
presents to the board.
well, thank you, President Rubberline, members of the board, Dr. Massey. I am honored to stand before you tonight and introduce not only to you, but to those watching at home, somebody who's been a huge key cog in our teaching and learning department for a number of years. Her name is Katie Lorenz. Katie has been working feverishly behind the scenes ever since I've been in this role to pull off things that we did not think were possible. She has done all of our REDAC coordination over the last few years, making sure that every teacher is in the right spot for the right training, it's compensated the right way, fielding all sorts of moving details or changing details from the state level, tracking those and absorbing them into our system and into our plan and keeping people communicated with. She has organized and coordinated conversations across our entire leadership team and how we support students in our system at all levels who need more time or are ready for something more. She has really spearheaded the introduction of a brand new data dashboard in our district, creating a lot of those dashboards. She's provided instructional leadership for our coaches, for our administrators, for curriculum review. You might not all know her yet as well as some of us do, but I think that you're going to be really impressed over the next couple of years. She is highly respected by the teachers of this district, and she's also highly respected by the administrators in this district. And so we interviewed a strong slate of candidates for Director of Teaching and Learning. Katie had distinguished herself before those interviews started, and she only separated herself during the process. And so I'd like to introduce Katie Lorenz as the new Director of Teaching and Learning.
Thank you, Dr. Massey, Board Chair, board members. I'm really excited about the opportunity. It's an honor I'm really looking forward to. I've been in our system, in our district for almost 20 years. As JP had said, 8 of them have been with our teaching and learning team, specifically the last 5 as a teaching and learning coordinator alongside JP. So outside of work, my husband and I have 2 middle school kids, so we are rocking and rolling all of the middle school things. Like to spend time with family. So thank you. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for the space and allowing me to introduce myself, and I'm excited to continue to serve our students and families and staff here at Forest Lake.
Of course. Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you for being here tonight,
Congratulations.
and congratulations on the promotion. One of the concerns I think I shared with a lot of people when I was going through the superintendent process was when you have such a great leader in a role, you want to promote that leader. And I am speaking of Mr. Jacobson, of course, but one of the things you get concerned about is the vacuum that you create there. And after having a couple of discussions with Director Jacobson and knowing a little bit about your work over the years, I'm confident that the vacuum will be filled just fine, and that you're going to do great in this role. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Way to go.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
I just
Yeah,
wanna
Member
say-
Tyson.
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations. And I've been on curriculum committee a lot over the years, many, many times. And you're just so impressive how you explain high level and complicated things to the group. And I've always really appreciated that. And how you're just calm and smart. And you just do a great job with all the people on that committee when I've been in there so many times. So welcome and congrats.
Yeah. Thank you.
Member
I was just
Corcoran.
going to say, Forest Lake's been blessed to have really great internal candidates over the years for many different roles, and I'm thankful that, that you wanted the position, you're just a great one to step into the role, because you don't have a big, you have the learning curve, but you've also been in that role for quite a long time. So it's a great opportunity, and we're so thankful. So welcome.
Member Castle.
Now there will be a vacuum position that you left, and you get to delegate now for the things that you have been doing to other people. A little different challenge, but I'm sure you can do it.
It's wonderful.
All right, congratulations
Congrats,
again.
Katie.
And thank you for being here this evening.
Looking to see a lot more of you now.
All right, we will pivot to donations. Member Castle?
Okay, so we have a $23,321.68 from the Forest Lake Boys Hockey Booster Club to the 25-26 hockey coaches booster paid for the Forest Lake Area High School. $13,274.55 from the Forest Lake Boys Lacrosse Booster Club to the high school 25-26 lacrosse coaches booster paid. $2,667.45 from the Forest Lake Girls Track and Field Booster Club to the high school track uniforms. $1,500 from Midco Foundation to the Community School Outdoor Rec Project. $1,384 from the FVE PTA to the FVE Transportation for Field Trips. $902 from the Forest Lake Boys Lacrosse Booster Club to the high school coach bus to Grand Rapids. $500 from Pfeiffer Chiropractic to the FLACE Forest Lake Marching Band and Color Guard. $500 from Drolson Family Foundation, the FLACE Forest Lake Marching Band and Color Guard. $500 from Ameriprise Financial, David J. Drolson, to the same Forest Lake ACE Forest Lake Marching Band and Color Guard. $200 from Peterson Companies to the Forest Lake Marching Band and Flag Corps. $300 in valued goods from Tom Herman to the Forest Lake Music Department 1972 Horton Cornet and mic stand, totaling $45,117 in total monies and goods donated.
Wow.
And I recommend that we accept these donations with gratitude.
So moved. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Just, it's June and school's out, and so grateful for all these donations that continue. We're just blessed.
Yes, thank you. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, the motion carries. That brings us to 8.2, school board vacancy, discussion of next steps. So I guess a quick summary. We still don't have a seventh member. We have a legal obligation to at least attempt to fill that vacancy, so I'd open it up for discussion on what the board would like to do to get that filled. Member Corcoran?
Can I direct the question to Dr. Massey? I know is something about the 90-day rule that we had talked about. Can you explain that a little bit to us?
Yep, so the statute is pretty clear, one, and we've talked a lot about this at the board table, that the board must fill the vacancy. They don't get to decide, we're good with the 6-member board, they got to make an effort. Also in the statute is a provision that indicates that if the board resignation were to occur within 90 days of the election, the board would not have an obligation to fill the vacancy, too close to the election. So in speaking with legal counsel, they've indicated that once the board gets within 90 days of the election, that clause is certainly met as well, along with the must provision. So we're still outside that 90 days, and I think the guidance from legal counsel would be that the board continue to make an effort to fill the vacancy, at least until you're within that 90-day window.
Do we know what the 90-day window is? Have we figured out it?
It'd be August, I don't know the election date, the
November
4th, 5th,
the 3rd, right?
August 3rd.
November
Okay.
3rd? Oh, so we have till August 3rd?
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead, Gail.
Were you gonna?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Member Tyson, go ahead.
Just waiting. So I'd like to propose that we do it a little different this time, that we stay away from talking about people in public meeting. That can be an ethics issue. We don't want to be disparaging anybody in public. That can be damaging to people's reputation. So I'd like to propose that we, maybe the 6 of us individually send to the chair or the vice chair 5 criteria that we think are the most important, whether it be governance, lives in the district, whatever those things can be to us as individuals, and then they can collate those or correlate them to which ones are similar, which ones aren't, and then we stick to those objectives. And maybe that will help us not veer off and talk about individuals. We'll get the submissions, we'll have the interviews, and then we follow those criteria and those objectives.
So are you talking about blinding who they are when we discuss our preferred candidates, or
Well, I'm just saying that much like the interviews for the superintendents, we don't talk a lot about the individuals. It's all meant to be positive. We don't have to go into any great depth because we already have all the papers that they submitted. Then they go through their formal interview. So I think it would be helpful if we establish some criteria
For
that's
discussion.
important to all of us so that
I
we can
gotcha.
stick to those objectives.
Okay.
Like our attributes, or how we really, what we did the superintendents, what we thought was the most important things.
Right.
Right, the superintendent. So do we need to put another ad in the paper, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I think
And
we'd
we
have to
have to
start
give a
with an application
timeline.
process here. And I guess I would propose that we carry it out similar to what we've done before, where we give about a month for applications. That would put,
I think that might be
Middle of
pushing it a
July.
little much.
well, that would be
August
July
3rd is what
24th.
we're done by.
We have a limited number of meetings here. We have a meeting on the 16th,
Yeah.
and then we
Where's
meet
our
again
calendar?
on August 6th.
Okay, because the 3rd is our last date then, August 3rd.
Yeah.
So if
So
we
we
want to
would
make
have-
an attempt,
We would have to discuss and decide, vote.
so the 16th is our meeting.
July.
Right.
Yeah, we could make an appointment on the 6th, though. Then that person would become a board member on or approximately around September 5th, I think, it's 30 days.
Yes. Yep.
There's the 31st, yeah, so it would be the 5th of September, they become an eligible board member.
I think that would
Member
work.
Castle?
Yeah.
I would submit that even though the obligation might disappear after a while, I would still recommend that we pursue, even if that
The 90 days.
obligation does not exist anymore.
So you want to when would you put the date in, Member Chair, for the applications to be in by?
Can you talk a little louder, Member Corcoran?
Oh, I was asking the
Thank you.
date for the applications.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we did 30 days, they would be due on Friday, the July 24th. that would give, it would give yourself, Member Corcoran and I, about a week and a half to 2 weeks to discuss the rubric or the criteria that Member Tyson is recommending. And then we could discuss that,
We do
that
interviews.
rubric on the 6th.
Yeah.
Perhaps on the 16th, we'd have to compile what that rubric might look like.
July
That we need to do in a
16th.
public meeting. But that gives us almost 3 weeks, well, it gives us exactly 3 weeks to kind of decide what we want to use for those criteria and figure out exactly how we want to go about that process.
Okay.
Does that seem reasonable?
Sounds good, but one question to clarification. Did you say the 16th of August, the 6th and the 16th?
It would be the
Sixth.
July 16th meeting.
Okay.
We would
July
set the
16th.
criteria for that rubric, however we were
Gotcha.
going to put that together.
And then August 6th.
Yeah.
Mhm,
I
August
think-
6th.
Yep, Member Anderson?
I would like to add on specifically to that discussion, meeting the rubric, what you're talking about, that we decide then, as opposed to at the moment, we're trying to figure it out, how
Yeah,
we're going
yeah.
to move around the table and vote or make our preferences known.
We can talk about that on the 16th then?
Yes.
Yeah.
When we talk about the rubric and then
Yep.
have how we're going to coordinate that?
Yeah, and I know MSBA has a model rubric for this exact situation.
Okay.
Perhaps
So
we
we
could
could use
utilize that.
that.
We can put the scoring together, and just like with the superintendent selection process, the rubric's intended to help us reach a decision, but of course, we have to have that final resolution get passed and approved as well, so.
Okay. Do you want to send that out to all of us, Member
The
Chair?
MSBA rubric? Yeah, I can find that.
And also state the fact of the criteria by the July 16th meeting. Like our top, whatever, the top criteria or attributes or
Yeah, if,
whatever.
I think what I'll try to
To be-
do, Member Tyson, too, is I'm sure we can get that added. I believe that's a public document, so I think we can get it added to the proposed agenda for the 16th, so we all
It
have a
is.
copy of it, the public has a chance to see it.
a great idea.
Anybody who might be applying could then see the criteria that are going to be used, at least for the discussion.
Okay.
Gosh, with that, I'd propose a motion to open applications using the exact same application that we used in the last process. That would be due at the close of business on July 24th.
So moved.
Second.
The earliest I'm getting added in the paper from today
Right.
is July 2nd.
Oh,
I think that still
That's
gives
still
them
3
one,
weeks.
two, that's still over 3
just wanted to
weeks.
make sure you knew
Yes,
that.
yeah, thank you
1,
for
2.
that.
That's a
And put it
good
on our
point.
website.
3
Okay.
weeks is good.
Okay.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, the motion carries. Which brings us to item 8.3, long-term facilities maintenance plan for Forest Lake Area Schools. Director Remberg-Idy.
Thank you much. Good evening, Board. I'm here to talk about, it's okay, we'll pause for a second. The long-term facility maintenance plan for Forest Lake area schools. We have the expenditure and the revenue plan. This plan is well talked about in the buildings and grounds and then reported to the board from that committee on a monthly basis. So we know the upcoming projects. This summer, Wyoming is going on along with the maintenance, building, roofing, and then next 2 summers will be Forest View, which again, more has HVAC work, but also components of the flooring and windows and all of that. After that, we're kind of in a review phase again, so we kind of get those projects laid out 5 or 6 at a time and then come back around. So after that, we'll be able to come back around and look at that. Again, Forest Lake Area Schools is in a great position, being a 1A or all facilities district, to be able to keep up on the maintenance in a way that we had not before the 2015 bond issuance. So very excited about that work, and again, just like your household, needing to make sure that all of our components are in good working order. So with that, administration would recommend approval of the LTFM plan.
All right,
Move
thank
to
you.
approve 8.3.
Second.
or motion and a second. Are there any questions or discussion on this topic? All right. With that, Member Clerk, please take a roll call.
Okay, Member Christensen.
Aye.
Member Castle.
Aye.
Member Tyson.
Aye.
Member Corcoran. Aye. Member Rebeline.
Aye.
And Member Antonsen votes aye. The ayes have it.
All right, 8.4, I will again welcome Member Renberg,
Thank
ID
you.
adopt
Good
the
to be back.
2026 to 2027 budget.
I wanted to take a little bit of time tonight. I know that we did this last time, but it's a really important budget, and I just want to make sure, full transparency to the public and making sure that understanding, some deficit spending in the models that we have. And so I just want to go over and have it in writing, in the presentation. I talked about it last time, but again, just that long-term facility maintenance adjustment. So we know that when we get to the slide that has the numbers on it, we're going to see that our revenue is under our expenditures. And a lot of times you would say, oh no, we're going to deficit spend, which means the next year we're going to double that deficit spend, double and things like that. But that's not what's happening at all. What's happening is in 2022, we became a one-year all facilities district, which allows us, again, with what we just approved, to do those projects that we need to maintain our long-term facility maintenance needs. And so when we did that, however, our fund balance was actually negative $2.1 million in that year. And that's because in that project, you can do big projects and go negative. It's a restricted fund balance, so it works out fine to be able to be negative. However, when you become a 1A district, what it means is that you have to spend all of your levy dollars before you can go spend those bond dollars that you're able to get and utilize. And so with that, you can't just take the dollars that we had planned and levied for and put them towards the deficit. You have to do it a different way. And so that's what we worked with Ehlers on, our municipal advisors. We worked with MDE to say, please just make the exception. Let us use the dollars in the levy to do this. And their answer was no. The levy timeline just does not align with the funds, so this problem came to be. We had already levied 2 years before for what that long-term facility maintenance would look like, and so what we had to do was get an adjustment. So we had to take the money in and then not spend it, and we didn't. And then we held it, and we've talked about that big fund balance, that big swing when we went from 362 all the way up to several million. And so that big swing coming, and now again being at 11, but again, I'm saying that our number of unassigned is only 7, so that adjustment coming through and being able to do that. So again, that adjustment, because the levy's 2 years behind, is gonna come in FY27. So a long, drawn out process that we talked a lot about. And again, something that we really wish we could have avoided, but the way the statutes are written, we couldn't. So again, because we were negative, we had to fix that, and we had to get the money in, and now they're gonna take it away. And we held it, got some good interest, so we got a bonus there. But they're gonna come back and take it. So we knew that, we didn't spend it or anything, it's there, it's ready to be taken in FY27. So you'll see the negative budget adjustment in the slides I'm gonna go through on the revenue side. So again, we're gonna get less LTFM revenue, and we're gonna have higher expenditures. And that's what's gonna create that fund balance going out the door. Structurally, without the LTFM, it's a balanced budget. So that's what we're presenting in that. And the projected fund balance at the end of FY27 is around the $7 million. So that's, just want to, again, go over that and make sure that people are understanding that. When we look at this slide and we see the difference there, that it is okay that our revenue is under expenditures, because that is due to the adjustment in revenue, because they're taking away what we have.
That, Chrissy, we have to show on the expenditure side.
Yep, and we still show the full expenditures.
Yep.
So that's how that happens.
Yep.
Again, other programming, food service, just minor there in spend down. And again, those rates weren't in there, so that's fine. Community ed has a $3 million fund balance, so again, fine that we're in that area. Construction has about a $15 million fund balance. So again, we're going to evaluate. Typically, we sell bonds. I talked about this every 2 years, so this would be a year that we would sell them. We've been doing really good on projects, so we're really in that phase with Ehlers to see if we're going to sell this year or just wait. So that's good news. And also debt service, again, utilizing a little bit of that 105% to pay some of those in both of those areas this year, and that also helps with the levy. So again, overall, I totally understand that revenue expenditures, are under, but in all those areas, fund balance is there to support all of this. And again, not anything negative in what we're presenting in that budget. So I did last time go through these, the more specifics within that, and again, that LTFM adjustments coming through, our increases to the per pupil funding came through, which was really great. Again, indexed to inflation, which really helps school districts with predictability in our per pupil ratio. A loss of only 67 students versus the 100 we were doing, another great thing for Forest Lake area schools. The reduction in compensatory was not so great. But again, we've been accounting for that and looking for that to come. Summer unemployment also no longer funded, so getting into that unfunded mandate world. And then interest revenue, because we're having that money go out, we just know we're going to make less interest when we're not holding on to that. But again, we got to, for several years, make some really good money on that. Expenditure-wise, again, removal of the FY25 items that we didn't get finished up, all those projects that we had to shift over. So we knew our fund balance was a little bit higher because of that, was going to get taken out this year. Salary and benefits adjustments, along with right-sizing, balanced out to about $800,000. Severance expense will be going down. We do have our last full package people headed retiring this year, so it's good for them, but a lot of knowledge walking out the door too. Reduction in READ Act training, and then reduction in equipment purchase. So that brings down on the expenditure side. So that's the general fund. Again, food service, we're gonna watch that rate. Typically it will go up. The reimbursement rate from the feds will come through later this summer. Stable staffing in that area, and then we'll do the revision as we do with all of our budgets. And same thing, community ed will, again, great programming that people continue to love. So doing good and going up in both the revenue and expenditures tied to different additional program offerings and minor spend down to their fund balance. Construction, talking about if we're going to sell bonds or not. I didn't put that in there because I just don't know that we're going to need to. And then again, the Wyoming projects that we just went over. And debt service, talking about the 105% on those payments. So overall, those are the budget numbers. With that, administration would recommend approval.
Thank you, Director Ambergheide. It's a good reminder that accounting is as much art as it is math. Does anybody have any questions before we move to a motion?
I would just like to say thank you for doing this again. I had questions, because anyway, and talking with Mr. Massey and your ability to come in here and explain it again is helpful. So, thank you.
Member Castle.
So there's the unassigned and the assigned. None of that would make any difference on what happened.
Yeah, correct. The LTFM is in a restricted fund balance, which is why it was negative. So yeah, that part did make a big difference, but there wouldn't have been a difference between assigned and unassigned. Yep.
Thank you.
Member Tyson.
Yeah, so I just want to thank you, Director Chrissy. I'm just going to call you that. Because you are amazing at explaining things. And that's why I've gotten to this point where I can just really wrap my head around stuff because of your expertise in this area and all you do. And your listeners tell me the same thing. Wow, I can really understand that when she talks about it and talks about the budget. So thank you so much. It is complicated. I remember back when we were like praying to get into all facilities, become a 1A, and we finally made it, but it does complicate things a little. So thank you for all you do.
Member Christensen.
I have another question, getting back to something that Member Tyson said earlier. So the thing that's on the ballot, blanking on the exact word. So if that passes, the school funding, which will bump up a little bit.
Yep.
What would that look like, or when would that be effective, or?
It's on the ballot this year, so I'm not.
It would be 28.
I was going to say 28 was the
So there would be time.
Because
obviously it could pass or it could not pass, and that would factor into what we're doing. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
And we're hoping to pass.
Yeah, it'll be on the ballot, I'm sure, as to when the effective date.
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
Member Corcoran.
So I just want to echo Member Tyson's words, Dr. Renberg-Eide. Yeah, you speak in plain language, because it is a really complicated, school district funding is very complicated. Like you said, how many pages? I mean, you print out, it could be hundreds of pages, whatever. So you make it simplified, and I really appreciate it as well. And so does the Finance Committee. Thank you.
All right, I entertain a motion to approve as presented.
Move to approve 8-4.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none. Member Clerk?
Okay, excuse me. Member Tyson.
Aye.
Member Rebbeline.
Aye.
Member Castle.
Aye.
Member Christensen.
Aye.
Member Antonsen votes aye, and Member Corcoran.
Aye.
And the ayes have it.
All right, thank you. I see no new business on the agenda, which will bring us to the superintendent report. Dr. Massey.
Thank you very much. My final days as superintendent of Forest Lake Area Schools are approaching, and I'm overwhelmed with pride as I reflect on the state of our school district. I'm wise enough to know that none of the success and accomplishments I have been a part of over the last 9 years are because of me. The school district is blessed with amazing educators and staff in every realm who make the system work for students and their families. I would need an hour to cover all the amazing things that have taken place within the Forest Lake Area Schools over the past decade. Perhaps most importantly, in 2018, the community approved a significant increase in the district's operating referendum. This support has lowered class sizes, particularly in the early grades, improved wages for teachers and staff, restored the critical work of teaching and learning, and improved the district's financial footing. This levy was extended for the same terms for an additional 8 years in January 2025 and will serve as the financial bedrock of the district for years to come. Recovering from learning loss experienced during the pandemic is hard. I am proud to share that student learning has rebounded with more students graduating from high school now more than in any time in the last 10 years. Furthermore, we are seeing some of the highest ACT and advanced placement scores. And when we look at our FAST data, students continue to grow and learn at accelerated rates. After a decade of declining student enrollment, we are now seeing stable enrollment. This is specifically noteworthy given the fact that the district and the state are seeing declining birth rates. Students are enrolling from other districts, charter schools, and homeschools at record rates. Students and families tell us that they are choosing Forest Lake Area Schools because of the high-quality instruction students receive and the endless options students have, especially at the middle and high school level. Student academic growth, as measured by FAST assessments, is steady and impressive. Early in 2019, I assembled a community and staff task force to study ways the district could upgrade the high school athletic complex. At the time, we had a running track that was unstable and unsafe, and a grass field that was in disrepair for more than half the school year due to overuse. Utilizing new funding mechanisms and taking advantage of expiring capital debt, we were able to construct one of the best school athletic complexes in the state without raising taxes on our residents. As I turn over leadership to J.P. Jacobson, I am proud of the fact that the district is on very strong financial footing. Our job is to allocate resources to serve the mission of educating all students and providing dynamic opportunities for students to grow and succeed. We do this best when we utilize resources efficiently and with a sense of stewardship. I am part of a much larger system, and I consider myself blessed to have served in this role. I have had a front row seat, or maybe it's more apt to say I've had a seat on the bus, to see the absolutely amazing work, love, and commitment of staff across the district. I've seen incredible educators move students forward, provide incredible learning experiences for students, lift students up, when they struggle, and celebrate their success as if they were their own kids. I have watched school staff and district administrators lead with courage, innovation, and pure determination to make our schools and the district the best place possible for students and educators. I have ridden on school buses and seen firsthand bus drivers greet students who are still half asleep, and they drive with immense care and get students to school safely. I know of countless stories of food service staff who made sure that every student was fed, even if they did not have funds to pay for their meal. The pride in what is prepared and served in our kitchens should make us all proud. I've watched custodians and ground staff care for our buildings as if they were their own homes, and I have watched nurses care for sick students with love and care. Win or lose, I have watched coaches and music and theater directors beam with excitement and joy at the performance of their students. I have been blessed to work along two amazing administrative assistants, Connie Ramberg and Joy Mouch. You have made this job more manageable. Your skills and attention to detail has been greatly appreciated. Thank you. I would like to thank the boards I've worked with over the years who have put their trust in me. Your bold, selfless, courageous leadership in service to our students and community is a gift. To our administrative team, we have done amazing work together, and I thank you for your partnership and friendship. I have been blessed with 3 contracts and a career that has filled my heart beyond anything I could have imagined. Thank you for letting me occupy the superintendent's seat and to walk the halls of our schools over these 9 years, cheering on student hard work and success. The job has been a true blessing to me. I have been joined on this journey by my wife, Kate, and my 3 boys. You have weathered the ups and downs along with me. And I am forever grateful for each of you. Thank you for your patience and understanding, your unending encouragement. I love you. Forest Lake Area Schools is a premier district. I stated during my commencement address that I have served as the superintendent of one of the greatest districts in the nation. This is a true statement. We have incredible educators and staff who are skillful and who care deeply for students. You have selected a talented person in JP Jacobson who will continue to move the district forward. JP, I wish you all the success in the world. Serving as superintendent has been one of my greatest honors. I'm humbled by the work we have done together. We can all be proud of the opportunities this great district provides for our students. And this concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Massey. Anybody have any questions or comments? Member Christensen?
I just have a short comment. I just want to say thank you to Dr. Massey. He's been a mentor to me and to so many others. He has really taught me a lot of things, and I could go on about a lot of things, but I think about Dr. Massey, and I think about just integrity, such strong integrity through, all that the board has, all that we've kind of put each other and him through these last 2 years. He leads with integrity, respect, trust. I mean, if Dr. Massey tells you something, if Christy Remberg-ID tells you something about the budget, it is true, and you can take that to heart. You don't have to question it. He's also incredibly humble, and I'll miss seeing him by surprise in the cafeteria. Sometimes he just shows up, and that is really fun, and the kids just love to see him. And you can tell when he comes into those schools, the kids, who's that, and he'll talk to them, and I mean,
I was called Mr. President of the school.
yeah. Yeah. And I want to recognize Joy, and we're going to miss her, and she's always there to cheerfully answer your question and answers the phone. And again, we've put her through a lot, with the minutes and recognizing who said what or seconded it or whatever, and she's just sitting back there. Again, you can trust her integrity, respect. I think that comes from the top, when your leader leads with integrity and respect, it just comes right down to everybody else underneath you. So, thank you.
Member Tyson?
Well, I'm going to thank Joy first. Joy, we're going to miss you so much. I remember when Steve said, Gail, can you help with the interviews? I didn't know who was in the pot or who was being considered, but you're a gem, and everything you do, everything you've been through, printing off, reprinting, new minutes, old minutes, I mean, I would say, Joy, take tomorrow off, and Steve would be like, Gail, but you work hard, and we appreciate you so much. So, Steve, I wrote you a letter to become Superintendent of the Year, which I'm not going to read, because I get really sad. Because I really wanted you to have that. And the timing wasn't right. But I'm going to pull it together and read this. So, thank you for your unwavering dedication throughout the years. Never have I experienced such a tireless dedication. I mean, your car is like parked there all the time. I don't know if you ever go home some nights. But, COVID, busing, weather, I mean, all the things that we've accomplished in this district that you mentioned, becoming the premier district that we are in Forest Lake, has been a lot of your heavy lifting and your ability to build relationships and bring people together and get that diversity of thought, which we really needed in our district, and I so thank you for that. But it's your integrity, as Member Christensen said, your vision and your caring ways. If I had a quarter for every time a parent would say, he really cares, he really listened, he really understood what I was saying, and he helped me. It was like, yeah, that's Steve, that's Superintendent Massey. But you have earned a well-deserved retirement, and I know it's going to be filled with joy and adventure and golf and lots of fun, I hope, I know. But I love that you're going to get time to spend with your cherished loved ones, your granddaughter, and all of your family. So I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for having been on the board with you at the helm. So,
thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Member Corcoran?
Okay, well, you guys are such great speakers. I kind of stumble a bit. But I remember when we hired Dr. Massey to be our superintendent, I remember his presentation being it was just a wow moment for me. I knew him for many years before that, but I had not seen him present like that. And I think that was such a pivotal moment in the future for our district. I just felt like that was a great It was the right option, it was the right time, everything was just great. And I believe you actually were sick that night. I think you had a cold, and he actually persevered through that and still was a phenomenal presenter, as always. So as I say, I've known you a long time. You've been in our district for many years. You kind of went up the ranks and a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you finished your career at the top. And all that knowledge, we're going to be missing that. That is, and the relationships that you've built. And you've built a great team. A leader's only as good as their team, as we all know. School board members, directors, people that you surround yourself with. And that's what makes you such a good leader. So yeah, the word integrity I've wrote many times, and you're leaving a legacy behind you of the compassion and integrity that you've always shown to be a superintendent. And you have brought our district and our communities together with your open door policies, parent involvement. I mean, it's just amazing what you've done. And even when you talk in other communities now, I mean, the respect that I've seen grow when we talk about Forest Lake area schools is totally different than it used to be when I first moved here to what it is today. I mean, that only comes from the top leadership. So I do appreciate everything you've done, and I've been on this board a long time. I've been blessed to work with many great superintendents, but I'm gonna miss you the most. You were the most, I mean, just you're always the quick call back, the communications that you've given, and always your leadership and direction are gonna be greatly missed, because you've always helped me a lot through the years. So kept me when I've lost my cool a few times, and I do appreciate that. I've only done it a few times, but I do appreciate your calm ways, and it's very appreciated. So best of luck in your retirement. Enjoy your grandchildren and your boys and your beautiful wife, Kate. You're going to have a wonderful time.
Thank you.
But thank you.
Appreciate it.
Mhm.
Member Anderson?
Sure, okay, so, all right. I have a little something here I wrote down, and of course it's a mess, so just bear with me. In a large part, it was my first personal encounter with Dr. Massey in a listening session that led me to my current seat of privilege with the opportunity to publicly express my sincere gratitude and recognize the impact he has made on not only myself, but more importantly, our district and especially the students. Going back to what numerous people have said here tonight, and I think it bears repeating because we had the whole presentation that we had tonight from Mr. Caldwell and the teachers at our high school, I understand how your work over the years to not only protect but grow and expand career and technical pathways and academic pathways for students has undoubtedly fostered success for thousands of students who, without Dr. Massey's foresight, would not have had access to numerous experiences to help them better navigate their future. I also want to thank you more specifically for recently, after numerous conversations, organizing and collaborating and putting together that bullying prevention working group. I look forward to maybe more on that with Director Jacob, or Superintendent to be Jacobson over there, and I think that's important ongoing work, and I appreciate you having done that. During my short time on the board, I have greatly appreciated Dr. Massey's open door policy and his prompt responsiveness to the majority of my questions, as well as his willingness to look further into something when necessary. With patience and grace, you have helped me realize that it is okay to keep asking the questions numerous times, more than once, and for that, my apologies. Dr. Massey possesses a depth of knowledge across the many facets of our complex education system, and he navigates the strategic nuances with an easy precision. As someone whose lived experience includes having stepped out of my comfort zone many times, whether navigating 8 separate school settings before graduating high school or multiple job changes through my career, I can empathize with you and the changes that you are facing here. The coach in me would say, do it scared. The nurse in me says, keep breathing. And in the words of arguably the GOAT of golf, Jack Nicklaus, who says, success depends almost entirely on how effectively you learn to manage the game's 2 ultimate adversaries, the course and yourself. I wish you well, and thank you.
Thank you.
Member Castle.
So along with everything that's already been said, there's also the aspect of being humble. And you easily pass on the accolades to those that you direct, but without the impetus that you provide, many of that would not happen.
Thank you. All right, so the challenge of going last. Need to digest everything that was just said and try not to be repetitive. Thought about a lot about what I was going to say here tonight and how to convey it, and like former Chair Raphael, I decided to kind of wing it and just kind of see what the moment brought. And one of the things that came to mind here is that at your retirement party, you had those cards on the table that most of us that were there went and filled out. And one of the questions was, well, what's your fondest memory of Dr. Massey? And I haven't worked with you for too long. I had some interactions with you before I was on the board. But I don't know if you remember this, you had a lot of cards that night, but the thing I wrote down was maybe a little strange. I said, our first meeting when I first decided to run for board. And I don't know if you remember that day, but I came into your office and I sat down. And, Dr. Massey, I'm thinking about running for school board. And you said, great. What do you need to know? Or what do you want to know? And I said, gosh, I want to dig into the strategic plan. And we sat down and we dug into the strategic plan and we looked at it, and it just seems fitting with everything that's going on right now at the board here. And the thing that came over me in that interaction that we had wasn't the nuances of the strategic plan or the specific items that we succeeded with, or like what needed to come next. It was just your passion for students. And that's what convinced me, hey, I want to be part of this. I want to be part of this board. And yep, I'm all in. I'm going to try to run. We're going to see what the public thinks about what kind of contributions I can make. And because we share that. We share that strong passion for student success. And I think that's what struck a chord with me so much. And I really appreciate that, because when you lead with that passion for students, that's where all the positive things that we've discussed here tonight, that's where they come from, is that intent of wanting to drive students forward and set them up for their future. And it's obvious to me that you led your entire career that way, and I wish you the very best in retirement.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And can I say
Yeah,
one more thing?
absolutely.
I didn't mention Joy. I was remiss to mention Joy, sorry. Thank you, Joy, for all your work and all the times I've asked you to print things for me and help me out, and I do appreciate it. And I want to welcome, is it Rebecca?
Becky Jerkovich.
Becky Jerkovich. Welcome to the district.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that, and we will miss you, Joy. Thank you for always having that smile on your face, no matter what. You keep calm, and when a lot of us don't feel it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We don't know how you do it sometimes. Thank you very much. All right, unless anybody
I
else.
have to do it right now, yes.
Yeah.
Ditto.
I did.
I'll just thank her.
And welcome. Thank you. Congratulations. Look forward to working with you.
All right, we will review calendar dates. The only one I've got circled here is our next board meeting at July 16th at 5 p.m. We already have some proposed agenda items for that one. With that, I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, we are adjourned.